All right. Apparently we are live. Hey, there we are. Hello, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is for you. My name is Janglestorm, and I'm very happy to do this run for you at Power Up with Pride Summer Edition. This is Hardhead for the arcade, and yeah, it is quite a game, let me tell you that much. You'll see that soon enough. So I'm just gonna get things started. The time doesn't start like right away. That is as soon as I gain control of my character. But I'm first gonna let the intro play and talk a bit about things. So here we go. All right, meet Hardhead. It's this person in this red overall. I think the person in the blue overall is my brother, and we also have my wife or girlfriend. I don't know. Time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. So, this is an arcade platformer, and it is somewhat reminiscent of Super Mario Bros. In that you can jump on enemies and you can break open blocks to get items for points. That's pretty much where the similarities end. So, you'll see soon enough. You might already see it judging from these enemies. There are, well, those rubber duckies, and you saw walking fingernails, and it's gonna get even crazier. And there's also rocks that drop on me because why not? It's this game. So yeah, we're gonna play through 16 levels in total, and as you can see, we slowly gather more and more of these, what some sites call pet enemies. Or they could be babies or minions. I have no idea what the exact lore is, but it's interesting to say the least. So yeah, in the second level we have suddenly these fireballs and lava, and this is the only level that has lava for some reason. I'm not sure why. So I'm just gonna jump over that. And now we encounter these Dragon Balls. I can not just directly stand on them, but I have to balance on them in order to make sure I don't fall to my death. So that's a good thing to know. And you saw the bubblegum before, now we have also this hammer that we were picking up. So there's multiple weapons here. And this is our first boss. Basically, well, it seems like this is Australia and we're fighting something that resembles New Zealand or something. I'm not sure what the exact idea behind this is, but anyway. Yeah, like I said, it is definitely a video game. And you may have heard it just a little while back, but the audio mixing is quite interesting to say the least, especially when we are encountering bosses, because those boss sounds tend to be mixed very much to the front, which makes for a very interesting effect. Another instance is coming up here when we fight these orbs. Especially when they drop down here. Let's screw up this movement here, but that's still fine. Normally speaking, I start from the second to highest set of platforms to basically defeat the first set of orbs. Orb! Okay, I'm gonna show you what I was actually planning on doing. So I'm gonna stay over here. First gonna destroy this. Second, third, head down here, destroy the fourth one. Then go over here. Sort of try to destroy the fifth one, hopefully. Okay, that didn't entirely go to plan, but there we are. That was pretty tense, wasn't it? There'll be a couple of these bosses throughout the game, and also some other bosses, which I'm not gonna spoil right away, because it's too good to be giving that away right now. And also, this is a very musical level. Even these springs, I guess, also make sound. And it's all like do re mi, etc, etc. It's pretty beautiful. Oh yeah, also this is a Korean-made arcade game. It's known locally as, and I'm probably mispronouncing this, but Jangu Baksa, which roughly translates as Dr. Bolthead. And I guess for Western audiences, they decided to translate that as Hardhead. An assault on the senses is probably accurate. Probably. Okay, as we go down here, this is an interesting section where we initially try to defeat these enemies. If I die here, it's almost like a threat of its own, because it will lead to all of these, or most of these other enemies being despawned like right away, so in a sense, dying is a speed threat of its own here. We only have the Indian above us who's shooting arrows. Do not underestimate these arrows, by the way. They can be pretty mean. So I'm just gonna wait until this Indian goes all the way down here. And we can just continue our way. And all of this, in order to grab this key and open this door, you sort of have to trigger that in order to make the game keep scrolling. Unfortunately, I took a death there. This game has got some weird mechanics in terms of jumping, and that the first half is pretty much completely controllable, but the second half, as you descend again, is pretty much not, in that you're basically upon a fixed path, and yeah, you just have to make sure you know where to land, and that's going to be a bit tough sometimes. This section is tough too on occasion because of the enemies doing things and me not always being able to respond to it too well, but this was actually not too bad. So, except I got killed by those enemies right there, which doesn't happen too often. There we go. Thankfully, they have the checkpoint set up like right over here, so we should still be good. It's no Mohawk and Head for Jack. Yeah, I mean, they can't be all Mohawk and Head for Jack. Although this level does have vehicles and cars and everything that we have to avoid. And you will see soon enough when that happens. I mean, this is sort of giving away that we're gonna be encountering quite a few of those. And everybody is just walking around here. I'm just gonna hide out here. Yeah, we're gonna be avoiding these trucks and these ambulances, and for some reason everything here sounds like an ambulance. I'm not sure. Everything is super busy trying to get places, and as you can tell, I have to avoid them. If I get hit by any of them, no matter how much health I've got, and I've currently got about 2 bars of health, I will die regardless. So I have to watch out for that. Also note that some of the items that I am picking up are somewhat varying. Like there's fruit and there's these gold boxes, and for some reason there's also cigarettes. So that's, I don't know, it's it's just one of these things. Okay, hey, we got more stairs, so we have to be a bit careful. Hopefully we can get through here. At least using the bubble gun allows me to catch them, so they will be out of my way for a while. Eventually the bubble pops most instances, so I have to watch out for that. And especially with these stairs, it can be a bit tricky to get around to that. Also, that was a bit scary. Okay, I have to watch out for that. It's another one of these bosses. I usually stand under one of these platforms to do the initial few hits, and then later on I do the rest really. The funny thing is, it doesn't seem to instantly take hits. Like, the hitbox doesn't seem to start until it reaches the floor, roughly. I'm not sure why that is, but there's so many things in Hardhead that aren't directly easy to understand. Yeah, smoking kills unless you're Hardhead. This is probably true. I don't know. More duckies. I was gonna watch out for those. They're surprisingly deadly. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot to explain that. We sort of, well, especially in the Kusu Grande community, jokingly refer to this as Hep-D Head because it seems like it's spelled that way, but of course it's Hardhead, but the R looks a bit strange to say the least. So, it makes it really seem as if it's spelled that way. Intended innuendo? I don't know. This is an interesting thing though. This has a sequel, and supposedly the sequel, I haven't played it myself, but from what I've seen, it's quite a different thing altogether. Also in that you basically spend the entire game walking around naked. I don't know why, but it's just one of those thing. Bad choice. Okay, as a make it past here, it's probably a good time for a donation or any info if you have any of that.
Sure thing. I would like to take a brief moment to plug a bid war that is coming up for the next run, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix HD. We have a bid war for what song is going to be sung by the runner. Currently we have You've Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story, Hellfire from Hunchback of Notre Dame, One Jump Ahead from Aladdin, What's This from The Night Before Christmas, a personal favorite of mine, and You're Welcome from Moana. Currently in the lead is You've Got a Friend in Me with $10, so for not that much money you could swing that pretty easily, and also we are taking any song that you suggest as long as it is safe for work. So feel free to get those donations in anytime during this run and probably for some time during the Kingdom Hearts run to make our runner sing some fun Disney songs.
Yeah, be sure to keep donating. Anyway, now we've landed what I've been calling MS Paint Town because it looks very... it looks like it's drawn to perfect detail, as you can see. There's no shadows anywhere, for instance, and it's just one of those things. And cars return again. So this section is where we really have to start using the hammer, and we can use it in very strategic ways. Also, in part because we're trying to break open one part of the wall in order to make sure that we can defeat enemies as soon as we break open the rest of the wall. So you'll see the same thing here and with this ducky too. I guess if you play this casually, it can be a bit tricky to do that initially, but there are some setups which make it a bit easier. It's a melodious truck horn. It certainly is. Oh, by the way, it's time for stage 9, which is a boss rush of sorts, and this is probably a favorite of those who've seen it, because we will be fighting a couple of skeletons. It's time for Skelly-chan. So, how about that? That's a boss fight right there, I would say. And hey, he's back! And he brought projectiles, so it's a bit more difficult than before. So you can technically jump on these projectiles, but the chances are roughly 50-50 that you will die to them, because the hitboxes are a bit all over the place. It's kind of unpredictable whether you will get hit by anything or not. So I usually try to play it safe, and in this case I stay in the same spot just to deal with things. Oh, damn. Well, I couldn't do much about that. I'm also trying to be a bit safe here with jumps, because there's this chance that if I jump on one of these enemies and I jump too high, I actually get out of bounds, and if you get out of bounds in this game, you'll basically die. So much for that category, if that were ever an option. Okay, this takes a few tries. It should be fine though. We'll get through soon enough. There we go. 2 for the price of 1. Is this level made of pretzel sticks? Probably. I've never even thought of it that way, but I guess they are. So yeah, gradually we're quote-unquote collecting or rescuing more and more pet enemies, I guess. The line is so long that eventually you won't even see all of them on the screen at the same time. Yeah, the fun thing about the sound effects is, I haven't gone into that yet, there are some other games that this company Sun Echo made as well, including, well, Hardhead 2, but also a game called Super Ranger. That's a game that I've recently seen during a Kusagrande match, the Bad Game Tournament, and, well, I'm not sure if I was surprised or not, but it does share the same sounds as this game, so You can definitely tell when it's from the same company right there. Oh, that was pretty scary. Okay, for this boss I have the strat to break open only one side of this structure. Because if I do it well, it makes this enemy stay on one side of the screen, so it's easy for me to defeat it. Not going to bed yet? Yeah, you gotta have some hard head before you, some hard head action before you go to bed, I guess. I approve. So yeah, you see some more lampposts, and yes, there's gonna be some more trucks. There's also gonna be this, these stampers or these crushers or whatever. I better take it safe, but there's some faster ways of dealing with this too. Also, one thing you didn't know about these vehicles, they can go downstairs without any trouble. I have no idea how this was being done, but in this universe, I guess everything is possible, so... I don't know. The lesser questions asked, the better, probably. Are those little walking brains? Probably. Everything... Whatever you think it is, it's probably what you think it is. Yeah, Swiss truck or an ambulance. It doesn't matter. Every vehicle sounds pretty much exactly the same. There's also this weird overlapping sound where you hear this car beeping and also this ambulance sound sort of overlapped. Oh, that was not the best approach. We'll just retry this. I'm guessing these cars have some really strong wheels if they can do that without any trouble whatsoever. Okay, gotta make sure to get through here safely. Sometimes when I'm on a PvP base I do this a bit more risky. Just try to make the jumps so that I can get through a bit faster than I do it right now. Oh yeah, also these boulders. You saw those boulders in the beginning. They are, for some reason, desynced where you get there the first time, but if you die and start over again, they're in perfect sync, and therefore they're easier to get past. I'm not sure why. It's one of those design decisions or whatever. I'm not sure what's causing that, but it does make it easier. Okay, so now we have to grab this key from high up in the clouds. We do that by... or try to get some of these enemies up here and hopefully jump when it's high enough. Yeah, there's a lot of bouncing physics. Also, it should be noted, there are no iframes in this game, so if I, for some reason, wind up getting... hold on, I should try this better. There we go. Yeah, if you, for some reason, land into spikes, it usually means that you will die, since there are no iframes that can make you recover and get out of there, any situation, whatever you wind up getting stuck in. Strawberries. Yeah, I guess I've been, I'm not sure when I first started calling these balls Dragon Balls, but I think it was someone in chat once who sort of jokingly named them that, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like a thing. Okay, speaking of balls or orbs, we have some more. This is one of the quote-unquote boss fights that don't really have much of a strat for, except I try to take out one of them as quickly as possible so I can free up some room to stand on this platform, for instance, and deal with the rest a bit quicker. But then again, you never know how it goes. Oh yeah, someone brought it up. The music in this game apparently is inspired by classical songs. I'm not exactly sure which ones though, but you can probably hear bits and pieces of well-known classical pieces throughout the game. Swan Lake, okay, there we go. So it's nice to have that info. Okay, this isn't too bad. Just have to make sure not to fall on the spikes. Like I said, if I fall on the spikes, then it's pretty much leading to instant death like 99% of the time. Yeah, I guess it's also a pretty common thing, but I have to say I'm not sure how much of that Sun Echo actually used in the other games. Oh, this stage, by the way, this part is very RNG. I'm trying to get to the key, but the amount of enemies that appear and which enemies appear is completely random. So I'm trying to get through without dying like right away. And that's not always the easiest thing. There we go. That wasn't too bad. But that is one of the potential run killers for me personally, because it can be pretty much all over the place, and duckies can be run killer too in this case. I found that this sometimes also has given me a bit of trouble, just because I'm trying to get to the lower part of this, to the key, as quickly as possible, but it's not always gonna work too well. But anyway, here we are. I'm gonna grab this. I wanted to grab that POW for extra health, but I kind of missed it. Oh well, now I have enough health, so I don't need to worry about it. Why? That's a very good question. I still don't know the answer. Anyway, now it's time to defeat the sun. For some reason, we see this very happy sun, and we have to defeat it because otherwise it's gonna kill us. Hard hat for smash, yes. Someone make that happen. Okay, so stage 14 that was one of my least favorite stages, probably due to some of the more RNG-esque parts. Gonna have some more music. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. But yeah. Oh damn, that was... Sometimes I try to jump and with enemies nearby, you never know how hitboxes are gonna respond. I guess if you have another donation or two or anything else, feel free to tell everybody.
Sure thing. We have a $40 donation from BNS who says, "Hi all, had a lot of fun watching the run so far. So happy to donate to a good cause." Thank you so much, BNS.
Alright, I have to make sure to get this right. Bit of a struggle here, but there we go. You always knew it would cause the apocalypse, huh? Yeah. Not only that, there's a second one. So yeah, like I said, I haven't played the second hard hat, but it is in quite a few ways different. Apparently you also have weapon upgrades, which you don't really have here. You just have a couple of items, like you have the bubble gun for, in the first place, and then, well, the hammer, of course, which you wind up using frequently. And then, of course, the bombs that you just saw. I think those are not terribly effective, because, you know, you can't really repeatedly hit with them or shoot with them, so... The new Bubble Bubble. Yeah, I think this is just before Bubble Bubble. I don't know. Anyway, this is the last level. It's gonna start, or it's gonna end, obviously, with a boss rush, which means we're gonna see, once more, our one and only Skelly-chan. And this is the last time we'll be encountering our dear friend. And this time brought some projectiles again. So I'm just gonna try it from here. I've usually had more success trying to do it from here. So what I also try to do is do 2 hits per jump, so that enemies are taken out a bit quicker. But this boss at the end, it's not always a guarantee, and this is sort of the final boss, but that was what you could basically consider the first part of that boss fight. Skelechan or Duolingo-chan? That's a very, very good question. I have no idea. Okay, this takes a few tries. But the checkpoint for this doesn't appear until after I've defeated the second boss. And for safety's sake, I'm just gonna see if I can despawn some of these projectiles. Although jumping and hitting at the same time is not always easy either. Gonna get through, it's very close to the end. I'm not having a lot of luck with this right now, but just gotta make sure to get stuff set up correctly again. Ooh, that was a bit close. Okay, that's part 1 again. You'll be seeing quite a few of these bosses. Now I'm gonna make sure to jump high enough. Basically, the thing is, if the enemy gets to the left side of the screen, it's much harder to deal hits, so you most likely die if that happens. And that's a bit of a difficulty. Anyway, that was the first phase, more or less, of this boss rush. And now we go to the final boss, which is the same head again, except he brought some projectiles, and I have to jump over them because that makes him stay at a certain distance, so hopefully that works out well. Ah. The sound of this is always awesome, yeah. It's an experience for sure. Face Gen, I like that. I'm not sure what the name was. I was initially convinced that this boss's name was in fact Hardhead, but it turns out that's the name of our hero, so... Ooh, yeah, that's too bad. Like I said, these spike balls tend to be a bit tricky. Yeah, you can only hope for certain strats to work out, but... Anyway, take 5 or whatever, or 6, I have no idea. Okay, that was a bit risky on my end. Gotta... Okay, that was good. That's not so good. Ah, damn. The thing is, I also... sometimes I have to turn around again, and... it's also causing a bit of trouble. Well, nothing like a marathon to have that happen, I guess. Oh god, I let it get way too close. It's a weird thing though, it doesn't always have to be this difficult, but there are some instances where this turns out a bit more difficult than you would think it is. Like, my current PB is just under 24 minutes, but basically I've... oh wait, yeah, my current PB doesn't actually have the perfect boss fight here, but... It was fast enough. So it can be a bit all over the place, and I guess that's pretty much explaining why I set my estimate to 40 minutes, just to account for that. But anyway. There we go. This is looking a bit better. I can sort of basically feel whenever I've got a pretty good setup for things. There we go. Okay, time stops as soon as I lose control, which is now. And that is this game. And we've made it home safely, and our wife or girlfriend is happy. And all of the pet enemies are too. And I say, congratulations, you fight it very well. Though Hardhead is defeated in this game, while coming here I am acquainted with you. And I will not forget you forever. I dare you to find more poetic words than this in any video game ever. Also shoutouts to the Sunai Company logo. And then they ride off in this bus to... I don't know where. I'm pretty sure the pet enemies are in there too, but they're small enough. Yeah, one single congratulation. Yeah, there's a bit of confusion because, like, so the sites that I've found info on mostly claim that Hardhead is the name of our character, but it's apparently also the name of the boss, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, this is not all. There is an incentive for me to show off a mini exhibition, which you've very kindly donated for and which has been met, so thank you so much for that. I'm gonna be showing that to you right now. It involves basically 3 things I'll be showing to you. And I can best show that from the beginning. So first of all, you have seen these hearts lying around and you wonder, well, what does that do? Well, it gives this tiny little animation. You get this smooch, it's really cute. And you get bounce. Not just bonus, but you get bounce. This is basically bounce content. Or something like that. The second thing I'm going to show to you is one thing that I have barely gotten into detail about at all. But you see these soccer balls here, which you can kick into goals for extra points, but also for a very beautiful sound effect, which I will be showing to you. And there you go. That is how everybody feels when they score a goal. This game knows. This game knows. And last thing I'm gonna show off, I have to idle around for a bit for that, but I apparently can't do that at the end of the stage. So I have to do it at the beginning of this stage, or that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. So, yeah. That's gonna be like 45 seconds, then you'll hear the music speed up, and then things will happen. I'm not gonna say what. But I hope you've enjoyed the previous 2 parts of this mini exhibition so far. And I hope everybody's having a good Power Up with Pride so far, a good marathon. I know I have had a good one so far. There we go, music speeds up. We ran around just a little bit longer. When suddenly, it's a sun. Oh no. Basically, if you just do nothing for a while, you get visited by the sun, and it's getting really hot, and stuff will happen. You'll die. You'll get killed by the sun if you wait around for too long. So, remember, life lessons, never wait around for too long or the sun will kill you. Just so you know. Alright, that was the mini exhibition of sorts. I hope you enjoyed it. Some extra Hardhead content. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. And I hope you enjoyed this video game. I can definitely recommend you give it a try. It's I found it a lot of fun. It's an interesting experience. So thank you all for watching, and have fun with the rest of the marathon, and be sure to keep donating. And that's it for me. Take care. I'll see ya.